Gentlemen, let's get one thing straight. When she finally reaches out after silence, after days, weeks, or maybe even months, it's not just a message. It's a test, a moment, a door that barely cracked open. And what you do in that moment. It matters more than you think. Most men, overwhelmed by emotion or relief, throw the door wide open with desperate energy. They spill their feelings, try to fix everything at once, and end up doing more harm than good. That's why 99% of men fail right here. But you're going to do it differently. Today we talk about how to navigate that moment with power, clarity, and control. When she finally breaks her silence, the natural instinct for most men is to react emotionally. Maybe you've been waiting for this moment, replaying scenarios in your head, hoping she'd reach out. So when that text comes in or that call appears on your screen, your heart races, and your first urge is to dive in. Express how much you've missed her, how hurt you were, or how relieved you are that she's talking again. But that's where most men make their first mistake. The key is to stay calm and grounded. If she senses a wave of desperation or over-eagerness, it instantly tips the balance of emotional power back in her direction. It reminds her that you've been emotionally waiting on her timeline, that you haven't moved forward, and that she still holds control over your state of mind. This undermines attraction. Women are far more drawn to men who can regulate their emotions, maintain self-respect, and respond with stability, especially in emotionally charged situations. Your calm response isn't about playing games or acting cold. It's about showing her that you've built emotional resilience. It's a signal that while you may still care, you're no longer dependent on her for emotional validation. And that shift, where you are no longer seeking approval but simply acknowledging her presence, is incredibly attractive. It tells her that you've grown, that you've handled the silence with maturity, not neediness. When she breaks the silence, don't react with an emotional flood. Take a breath, read the message. Then craft a response that's respectful but composed. No over-explaining, no emotional outbursts. Just calm energy. Because in that moment, your strength speaks louder than any words you could write. And that's what captures her attention all over again. When she reaches out after a long silence, it's easy to feel like you need to win her back right away. Many men fall into the trap of overcompensating, writing long, heartfelt messages, pouring out their emotions, or making grand gestures in an attempt to reignite what was lost. But this kind of response usually backfires. It gives off an energy of imbalance, as if you're trying to do all the emotional lifting while she remains uncertain and reserved. Instead, the smart move is to simply mirror her effort. If she sends a short, casual message, respond in kind. If she's testing the waters with something light like, "Hey, how have you been?" then don't reply with a detailed essay about your emotional journey or how much you've missed her. Keep it cool. Match the tone, length, and vibe of what she sends. This approach shows that you're emotionally balanced and that you respect the pace she's setting. More importantly, it signals that you respect yourself. By mirroring her effort, you're telling her, without needing to say it directly, that you're not desperate. You're not clinging to the past or begging for connection. You're giving her space to engage without overwhelming her. That makes her feel safe and more curious. It also reestablishes a sense of mutual value, where she knows she has to invest too if she wants something real to happen again. This doesn't mean playing games or being cold. It means being intentional. Emotional overexertion tells her you're still chasing. Mirroring her tells her you're centered. It resets the dynamic, because if she's coming back into your life, it should be with balanced effort. And you lead that tone by showing quiet confidence, not overinvestment. One of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman breaks her silence is rushing to talk about the past. The moment she reaches out, they feel the need to rehash everything. What went wrong, who said what, how much they were hurt, or how much they still care. But diving back into the emotional wreckage too soon is like opening a wound that barely started to heal. It overwhelms her and pushes her away. She didn't reach out to relive the breakup. She reached out to see who you've become since. The early stage of reconnection is fragile. She might be testing the waters, curious about where you stand, or simply missing your presence. If your first move is to bring up serious conversations, it creates pressure. It reminds her of conflict, drama, and emotional intensity, the very things she may have needed a break from. What she wants to feel now is a difference in energy. She wants to see that you're no longer stuck in the past. She wants to feel ease and emotional maturity from you. Instead of jumping into deep emotional territory, keep things light at first. Focus on creating a vibe that's calm, warm, and low pressure. Let her feel that being around you is no longer stressful or heavy. That change in energy alone can do more to reignite attraction than any intense heart-to-heart conversation. Eventually, the time may come to talk about the past, but let that unfold naturally. Let her be the one to open that door. Until then, your job is to show her, through your actions, your tone, and your presence, that you've grown, that you've moved forward, and that you're not stuck in yesterday's story. That's how you lay the foundation for something new, not just a repeat of the old. When she breaks her silence, she's not just looking to reconnect, she's feeling out your energy. This is where your tone matters more than your words. Too serious, and you risk overwhelming her. Too passive, and she loses interest. What captivates her is a balance, keeping the tone light, while maintaining a quiet confidence that shows you're in control of your emotions and your life. Lightness doesn't mean acting like nothing happened or playing the clown. It means showing her that you're not carrying emotional weight into every interaction. Use subtle humor, show genuine curiosity, and keep things conversational. When she feels that you're relaxed and at ease, it makes her feel safe. She wants to be around someone who brings peace, not tension. At the same time, being assertive means you don't shrink back or walk on eggshells. You're not begging for her attention or trying to win her back. You know your value, and it shows in the way you speak. You're not cold or distant, but you're not bending over backwards either. You're leading the energy, and she can feel that. It creates a sense of intrigue and attraction, because she sees that you're not the same man she left behind. This blend of light and assertive is powerful. It tells her, I'm good, with or without you. And ironically, that's often what draws her closer. She wants to re-engage with a man who's in control, who knows how to lead a conversation without making it heavy, and who brings a sense of calm strength. That's the kind of presence that makes her curious again. That's what makes her want to come closer, not out of guilt, not out of habit, but out of genuine renewed interest. When she finally breaks her silence, one of the most powerful things you can do is show her that your life hasn't paused. Many men make the mistake of using that moment to pour out everything they've been feeling, how much they missed her, or how they've struggled without her. But doing so shifts the energy into neediness. Instead, shift the focus to your current life, your progress, your purpose, and the peace you've built in her absence. This isn't about bragging or pretending everything is perfect. It's about authentically showing her that you've grown, that you've evolved, and that your happiness is not dependent on her presence. When a woman sees that you've continued moving forward, working on yourself, pursuing goals, building confidence, she starts to see you differently. She's reminded of why she was drawn to you in the first place. More importantly, she starts to realize that you're no longer waiting on her to validate you. By keeping the conversation centered on your life, your growth, and your present mindset, you reframe the interaction. It tells her that you're in a good place and that her silence didn't break you. It refined you. That shift in dynamic makes her curious. She wonders what else has changed. She starts to feel like she has to earn her way back into your world. Not the other way around. Your life is the message. Show her that you've built something solid in her absence. You're not seeking rescue. You're not clinging to the past. You've built momentum, and she can either choose to match your energy or get left behind. That posture is magnetic, it's rare, and it's exactly what sets you apart from the 99% of men who crumble when she finally comes back around. This is your moment to flip the script, to show her you've evolved. When she breaks her silence, don't chase, lead. Because the real attraction, it's not in what you say, it's in how you've changed when she finally looks back.